Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss how to create the ultimate bourbon barrel pick experience. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our singular special guest, Tim Swiat.
Hey gang, what's up?
Howdy.
What's happening, everyone?
Hey-oh. This all comes from because I have one really good idea, and I thought, I want to get this out there, so I made a whole show about it. But we'll see what else we can come up with to curate a really cool barrel picking experience. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, Tim said there's something he wants to talk about. What is that, Tim?
All right. So, when you're scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, all this stuff, and you get caught in your doom scrolling all this shit, you get all these advertisements for these new products and everything, and all this, oh, yeah, look at all this, that, and the other. Men's underwear has finally developed a pouch.
Sacks.
Ladies, you've had pouches for a while. Now, granted, it's for a different part of the body. But this is like, how did this happen? This is revolutionary. Why did not anybody think about this first?
I mean, they should have. Yeah, you're right. I have exclusively switched out Royce to pouch underwear.
Pouch underwear. Oh, he's into the pouch underwear.
He loves it.
Not by his choice.
Now, this goes even. There's an interior pouch.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interior
which is a whole
pouch.
different ballgame.
Literally.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
It's to lift and separate, which I find very entertaining.
Interesting. I don't have those. What is it? It's just supposed to keep them nice and clean in one spot. I don't understand.
It keeps them away from your legs.
Okay, that's
keeps them
no bat wings.
up.
No bat wings.
Yeah, keeps them lifted up and away from your legs, especially if it's hot out and you're sweaty. I mean, I don't have that gear down there, but I can imagine what would happen.
You never bind up on you down there, like you sit down the wrong way, and all of a sudden they bite you.
I literally switched Royce to just this stuff, and he is absolutely thrilled. He's so happy about it.
Okay.
I will tell you, any male that's post vasectomy, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anything that helps you prevent sitting on your nuts, I'm all for. Because you go your whole life with a certain distance that you have. Post vasectomy, you don't have no idea how much an extra centimeter can cause you a lot of problem when you're sitting.
I didn't know that was a thing.
The classic example is with the TV show Mr. Belvedere. They had to shut down filming one day when Mr. Belvedere sat on his nuts. He had to be taken off the set in a stretcher, go to the hospital. And you can Google that. That's something that comes up all the time on podcasts like Rogan and stuff like that, where they talk about the time Mr. Belvedere sat on his nuts. Well, Gilbert Gottfried, I used to listen to that podcast. Of course, Gilbert would just get stuck on that stuff. He talk about that all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
They've got special ones now. I think they're the first one I ever saw was called Sax, just SAXX Sax. And now I think that Duluth Trading Company has another same type of thing. And I'm sure there's other one like off brands and different ones like that. They are expensive. Let me clarify that.
Sure.
Cheap.
Sure.
I don't know how I missed this because I'm a
Proper nut
huge
care
fan
is
of the
not cheap.
armachillos.
No, armachillos.
Put them on ice. Huge fan of the armachillos.
Armachillos.
And
Okay.
now I have to upgrade, which is now this is forcing an upgrade.
And they're expensive. They're like $30 a pair.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
20
you hold
to
them-
I use the
20
Duluth,
20
but not on anything with a pouch. There's no pouch
20
in my
to
Duluth
20 to
underwear.
30 is what I think it is per
Okay.
pair. Not
20 to
per
30.
not
Well, you need to wait till they go on sale at like end of the season.
Correct.
And-
You save your Christmas coupons and you end of year
yes,
season.
that's
with
what I.
Christmas
That's what I always. That's when I always buy from Duluth. I
and
get the
you
end of the
should
season
do
and-
it
Yeah. Well,
because word on the street, they are the best.
they're the best. They're the best. What about depending on the weather and so there's factors that they change a little bit. I don't know how to
Yes.
say it. There's some
Yes.
dropping, some upping, depending
Yes.
on the temperature. Does that impact? Is there a better time of the year you should be wearing these, or
Steve,
Does
you
that
bring
help
up a good
level that
point here
out?
because this is all new tech to me. I mean, this is
Right,
I don't know how I missed this trend.
Is there a class we should take? I'd be like,
Did you watch the
There
video,
must be
Steve?
instructions.
I have to watch
right?
the video.
Did you watch the video?
I got the underwear and I put it on wrong because I hadn't watched the video yet. Whenever you get a new product, you watch the video to make sure.
Always.
Yeah, I'll have to do
Even
that.
if it's just a simple pillow.
Yeah,
watch the video.
exactly.
Yes.
How's it work? You put your head on it.
Yeah, there's probably like rules there, like don't wear it at this temperature or something. Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, rated from 40 degrees to 100 plus.
Well, there might be a size requirement, all right? Must be so
well,
big
no, that's a whole
to
nother
wear
ballgame.
these underwear.
You got to bring out the tape measure.
yeah, fair enough. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? We'll start with Mr. Swy and his new mic system that he's got. It's not a new mic; it's just the way he positions it, and I don't know the features and
Playing
buttons.
around with a lot of different things here, so we will see. We got a little bottle of Papa's birthday rye from this would have been 2021.
2022. It was 2022.
2022 release, the first annual release. That's a Sweet Thump Rye whiskey out of Neely.
Okay. A little foul on the elbow there. Hit the
mic, hit the whole thing. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got to clear the whole place now. I've got this whole thing going on.
It's got a system going. We can hear it now. That's exciting.
That's good.
Fantastic.
It's a start.
Congratulations to you. I've got Michter's here. This is their rye. Their rye. So single barrel rye. All right. Here we go. Swide on the set. Tim's got the lead. Right now, Tim has the lead, but Beka has to go. Beka, what do you got?
I've got some Maker's Mark wood finishing series here. This is the SE4 PR5. A marriage of virgin, toasted American, and French oak staves.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Tim. Sorry,
Well
Tim.
done.
Yeah. She got you. She got you.
did.
You were on your way to victory there, and then in comes
The odds are in my favor.
yeah.
So.
Got him down. Oh, shit. I spilled.
She spilled. Yeah. So, cheers, gang.
Cheers.
everyone.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be sharing ideas for curating the ultimate bourbon barrel pick experience. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. We're also sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop focuses exclusively on barrel picks. It's the job of owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot to seek out distilleries that are making the best whiskey in the world, taste through their barrels, and select the ones that are off-profile in the best way possible. They have high standards and refuse to allow anything into their store other than something they would be proud to have their name on. This leads to some really awkward conversations with distilleries that can't make it, but they do it for you, their customers. Learn more about what is going on at their St. Louis-based store by heading over to abvbarrelshop.com. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
Scott Pinkowski is unavailable. Would you like to... I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say right now.
He's listening to the Bourbon Daily. It's got to be the Bourbon
Daily.
Peace.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the ultimate barrel picking experience.
Yes, we are. What do we think are the things that make up a really good bourbon barrel pick experience?
Well, Steve, you said you had something that was just the ultimate thing with
well,
this.
I've got the ultimate. Yeah.
You have
if we want to save that for the late reveal, or I don't know.
I mean, I'm really curious. I'm really curious about what it is, because we need to see if we can go any higher than what you're about to tell us.
Oh, okay. So we'll start with that. I mean, I obviously I think there's other things that and we'll be talking about those. But I think one thing that could really make a difference, that I think would be really cool, and no one does this yet, so I'm throwing it out there into the ether because I pick barrels and I want this now. So we'll see if anybody listens and takes advantage of this. I feel like, everyone has glassware, and I always say that if you are a whiskey fan, you end up collecting glassware. And you're like, well, I don't collect glassware. Well, how many glasses do you have? I mean, I've got too many for my cabinet.
Got a ton.
By accident. It's not, I never set out to be like, I'm going to get as much glassware as I can. But I think if someone did glasses that said, because typically they'll have the logo on there. The one I got here is Heaven's Door. It's got the Heaven's Door. But imagine if it said just as simple as, barrel pick underneath there. And those were only used on people making a barrel pick. Again, it feels very exclusive. People, then you say, okay, you can take that. They're going to put, everyone who's involved in that barrel pick is going to put that on social media because they are part of that exclusive club. It's all about being cool. And I mean, it's way cooler than Postal Bottle Blands, right? You're on a barrel pick somewhere. Everyone's going to do that. Everyone's going to do that. And they're going to use it. And what's the first glass they're going to grab, by the way, when they got their buddies over and drinking? Oh, here's where
showcase it off.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was on a barrel pick.
Yeah, here I was at the Heaven's Door. I'm part of the barrel pick
kind of a big deal.
I think that could be a big. And again, only not available for sale in the gift shop. Don't bastardize it. You put it for sale in the gift shop, then people's never been on a barrel pick will buy them because it's
kind of like putting corks in a barrel shop in the gift shop that you could just buy to make it look like that.
Right? Yes. Oh, yes. I
kind of
need to finish out I need the S to finish this thing out. So yeah,
exactly.
It's Ryan from 10th Mountain. So that's a big deal.
Incredible.
Oh, Ryan's here. Ryan's here.
He's here.
Come in. Ryan, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back.
You're back. Okay. All right.
You're not back. You're here.
You're here. You've arrived. Yes.
You were never here before, so you're not back, but you are here.
Very valid point, Beka. Okay. Very valid.
You are in a hotel where at right now? I
am in Marriott Niagara Falls in Buffalo.
Okay, so you're on the Buffalo side. It's the other side's nicer, but you're coming back from there. So was
Yep, came back from Canada. Was in Canada the last couple of days. Starting to celebrate
that Marriott on the Canadian
party, so he's officially retired.
Oh, nice. I was just saying the Marriott on the Canadian side is amazing because you sit there literally right on the falls.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
If you ever go up to see Niagara Falls, stay at the Marriott on the Canadian side and make sure you get the falls. Pay the extra. You're like, it costs so much. No, at least one night, 2 nights, whatever. It's worth it because you're there. I mean,
feel better doing that as well because you get at least about a 15 to 20% currency conversion premium your way.
Oh yeah.
So while they do jack up the prices, you're still getting a deal when it comes down to that with the currency conversion.
That's true. Yeah. So Ryan, you're back. What we're on the show talking about the ultimate barrel pick experience. The only thing I shared is so far is I like the idea of glassware that is created just for the barrel pick. That again would have the logo like mine here that says Heaven's Door, but it would say barrel pick underneath, and it would be available. That's what you would actually taste the whiskey in from the barrel pick, and at the end of it, you would also be like, hey, by the way, you can take one of those, because the idea is people will share that because it puts you in a pretty exclusive club. You're doing a barrel pick for brands. I mean, I would think that people that do a lot of barrel picks, and if this became a thing, would line those up where they're available to see in their home bar and things like that or whatever. I would think they would want to show, look, I've been on 10 barrel picks.
The size of the glass, though, is that going to be a standard Glencairn size? Because you see a lot of the distilleries moving to the minis, but everybody's taking them home. You got to make it unique, right?
Right. I think that again, for me, the wee is fine. The wee Glen is fine on the barrel picks, and I think that would work. Yep. And I'm a fan of those anyway. And of course they're cheaper too, so everything works about that. So that was my big idea.
Beka loves washing those. So
yes,
I prefer washing the wee Glens.
Oh, there you go.
They're much better they're much easier to polish than the bigger Glencairns. We actually hate big Glencairns.
Yeah. There you go.
In the distillery.
So that's another push for the week.
Another plus.
Yeah, we're actually thrilled to not use large Glencairns anymore because they are much harder to clean.
I think it also works when you're talking about barrel picks, because you get a lot of people, their first barrel picks and all that. They take too much, they want too much in their glass, and
they don't understand it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Exactly. So by the smaller glass, a smaller sample size feels better. And yes, you're talking about cask strength. There's a lot of people that aren't even used to drinking right from the barrel. And I've seen so many people get trashed and annihilated on barrel picks, which to me is a little bit embarrassing. I wouldn't want to.
There's always one.
Right. Yeah. There's
always one that gets. I actually had someone ask during a barrel pick, they said, how do you not get trashed on this? And I'm like, well, I'm working.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not going to get trashed at this. And also I don't need a huge, to me at least, there's no point at which I need to have a huge chug of whiskey to know if it's good.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not saying I'm a professional here, but I can take pretty small sips and know if it's good, and I can taste through 15 barrels and I'm not drunk at all.
I agree.
Correct.
And I like Beka's approach. You know what? Do your job, pick the barrel pick, and then at the end of it, you can drink your favorites. And again,
that's where I was going.
You don't have to drink all of them, but then pick your favorites and enjoy those and finish those off. And you don't have
to
those.
I personally always like to ask who the driver is when we do a barrel pick, so that I know who I can kind of give shit to about stuff, and who I'm like I'm not going to give shit to anyone who's not, who wants to spit out their whiskey or anything anyways. But I do want to know who the driver is, just so I can kind of monitor it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You got to be smart about it. Idea. You're 100% right.
And I just like to know who it is, so I'm kind of keeping some eyes on them, because that's the last thing that you fucking want. Just personally.
Yeah.
Beka Sue, are you guys doing a lot of barrel picks?
We're gonna start doing a whole bunch of them. Right. We're actually working on. Yeah, we're working on. We've got a ton of barrels that are really good right now. And we sell quite a bit through our gift shop, but Royce had made just a ton of whiskey, and that's good, but also some of it we need to actually kind of push through a little bit more of it than what we kind of expected to. And also we had been doing distributing for a little while, and then we stopped, and Royce had been thinking about it. So I was like, oh, we should make a bunch. So we have a bunch of them right now. So Royce is like, let's start to do a bunch more barrel picks. So hopefully we do a lot more. But we're actually working on our barrel program, officially working on it, not just kind of some random bullshit.
Yeah.
We're gonna fully go into it.
What do we think are other components of a good barrel pick experience?
I always get a kick of how much fun it is for people to thief whiskey straight from the barrel. And so to give them that
So
experience,
incorporate them into that. Yeah. Because it is an experience. For so many people, I mean, I'm lucky I get to do a lot of barrel picks, but there's a lot of people, I can't believe how many people we've taken on barrel picks and it's their first barrel pick ever. Sure. There's so many of them that don't get that experience. So yes, make it an experience. Yeah.
And people just love beef and the whiskey. It's always a good time to see their reaction. I get to do that straight from the barrel. Like, right.
So people get all that's on tours. People freak out. Like when the one person gets picked, you should see the faces of the people who don't get picked. When they don't, you want to thief something right out of the barrel. Okay, how about you? Everybody's like, all these tours I've been on, I've always let somebody else go. I've never done it myself. Even still, over all the years I've been doing whiskey, I've never been on a barrel pick. That'll change in a couple weeks.
Wait, you haven't been on a barrel pick?
You've never been on a barrel pick?
No.
Oh.
What kind of friends you have?
Yeah.
Shit. Wow.
No, it's me trying to do it and putting the experience for everybody else, trying to figure that out. And that's
what about you are a
Just a
syndicate
martyr.
member? We put all these invitations out. Come on a barrel pick.
You do. Yeah. And I need to be able to come down there to do it. And now with
sometimes it's we've been in Indiana. I mean, that's relatively close to you. Yeah.
Sure.
We've done.
That's me getting committed with the calendar and trying to actually do something for myself for a change, and usually it's for everybody else. So we'll see. That'll change over time. It's like my better half, the general, and I were talking about that today. About it's nice seeing how things are changing right now with the kids getting older, and now it's like now we got things that we can do. Yeah. Now we can plan weekends.
That is good.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Good. When you have
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Kids,
a lot of
they
it's
take
going
up
to be
a lot of your
around
time.
this.
Well,
I do think that, and this is just, this is also how we do it. And so maybe that's why I'm more particular to it. Like, I understand the more corporatized, like they already have everything pulled out, especially these big distilleries. Like, I get it. You've got, they pull out
it's a
5
format.
barrels. You have, you've got 5 sample bottles in front of you. That's what you do. It's very much like clean, clear cut. That's what you do. It's picked. You're done. You go. I mean, I personally I get that, and I understand why they have to do it like that, because they also do so many of them at these huge distilleries.
Exactly.
So they need to do it like that. But I just think that pulling from some barrels, we drill into our barrels. We don't thief out of them for the most part, anyways. I just think it's more fun to just be drilling barrels and you have some come back.
But even to let someone use the drill, that's huge for me.
I made Darren.
People are dying to use the drill.
Yeah,
personalizes the event for that individual and makes a core memory. Right. Hey, I was the one that thieved our barrel picker. I was the one that I was the one.
I
that
drilled that barrel. I literally was at a distillery.
I'm the one that did that.
Barrel. So people are like, "Holy cow!" Yeah.
I made Darren do that on a barrel pick, Steve. I mean, it's like, hey, go back there, drill it, put the spire in, help everyone get a little sample out, and that's. I just think it's more fun that way, and I think it just makes it like you guys said, that's an actual experience. Just going and tasting some whiskey, to me, that's not an experience.
Right.
And in the same breath along those lines as well is giving them the opportunity to bottle it. If it's even if it's just the first 5 bottles or something out of that barrel, they help out with that, and it's a good experience for people. So people really enjoy doing that at our place. So
yeah.
I did a barrel back to the Darren thing though, Beka. Come on, you saw that barrel. You know what? Yeah, why don't you go climb back there and do that one? I'm good not doing this.
I had already been climbing through the spiders.
That's right.
It's okay.
Yeah, the spiders.
Go ahead, Darren. You got
I mean, I'm always climbing through all those fucking spiders all the time. Anyways, I mean, it's God, that fucking spider. I mean, you just have to get used to it if you're back there drilling in barrels and stuff. And I always just tell myself, nope, they're good luck. It's okay. These are all good luck spiders. And usually they're pretty small spiders back there. But on occasion, you get some fucking big whoppers back there, and you're like, oh, God damn it.
I'm kind of happy to hear that you have the same problems that we have.
Oh, my God.
They are just a distillery thing. Yeah,
they are just fucking, and usually they are I feel like most of the time it's just spider webs for the most part. But on occasion, you're just like,
yep.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
We have not to get on a spider discussion, but we have some black widows that like our place, so we'll come across
Black Widows.
every now and
That's
again.
fun. That's fun. Yeah. The one that is famous for being in Rick House's, the difference you can tell is the web that they make. It's not like, like the pattern, like it looks like it's like drapery up there. It collects dust and it's very drapery like looking, and that those things are just proficient with those things that they make.
I try to not kill the spiders in the Rick House. I destroy
that's
some
their home,
webs.
huh? Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's where they live.
Yeah.
They're out there just breathing in the angel share. So it depends on which Rick House I'm in.
They're
They're
drunk
drunk
spiders.
back there. I do go back with like a stick and try to like knock out the webs before I like walk through it, at least with where my face is going to be at.
Uh-huh.
I need a stick.
Come on,
Usually
you
with
have
my,
to.
they say my hammer, I go
Barton
back.
never did. You go to that place, man.
So I'd say
Barton
This is
1792.
true.
Just
The ultimate
yeah.
barrel pick experience, they clean out the spider webs prior to you having to walk back in there.
Oh, there you go.
Because
Well,
I
yeah, I mean,
don't
how many
think that
people spend the
most-
time at the distillery to know what else is going on at a distillery? You're
Yeah.
dealing with grain laying all over the place. It brings a lot of things. There's a reason why we got distillery cats. There's
Yeah,
a reason why we got a lot of things around a distillery.
snakes.
A couple other things I think make the ultimate barrel pick experience. I do think a tour needs to be involved. I think people need to know about. I mean, they're going to be selling that in some way. It's a store or whatever it is, a club. There's only going to be, if it's a club, it's only a certain number of members. They're going to be you're wanting them to tell who you guys are at the distilleries and why this is unique. So that needs to be incorporated into the barrel pick. And then pad and paper too. I mean, the ability to write down, take notes, because
You get like a small notebook embossed with a distillery logo on there or something like that.
Doesn't have to
You
be
don't
too
need a lot of
expensive or
pages in
anything.
there, but then you got to worry about cost. But that something like that taken down. I mean, you know how many distillery notebooks I bring around, walking around offices for my own corporate gig and everything.
Accidentally dropping
that's pretty
them.
freaking cool, man.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, look at this. You must know something about
Apologize.
Well, it's just from my barrel pick. It's not a big deal. Not even a big deal. I know I actually went to a distillery and I picked out a barrel specifically for people to drink.
Right. Yeah.
Brought up a good point.
We
about
also
other things
add we put a flavor wheel.
Okay. Flavor
We
wheel's
put a
good.
flavor wheel on the bar.
Okay.
that's smart.
Good idea.
You brought up a good
How
point about
many-
thief and whiskey from the barrel, but also things to come back with. Don't we have a friend of the program that was going to create a bottle thief? A small
Yes.
little bottle thief?
Yeah, Paul.
That
it's
would be
called straw,
freaking
Tim.
cool, man.
Every time I talk to him, he says he's going to do the bottle thief. I wonder, like, how many bottle
thief coming
thieves
home
you could
with
sell
ya with
out
that
of
as
a Neely
well?
Family Distillery. I would guess tons. I would guess everyone who's walking out there with a bottle thief. I just, it's a fun.
It'd be pretty neat.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, other people call it a straw, but we can call it a bottle thief if you want.
So just like a little thief that like goes into a bottle.
Yes.
A little
Yeah,
thing
so
that
if you
goes
have
in the
your- if-
bottle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that'd
idea
be
is
cool.
if you got your buddies, it wouldn't necessarily be something. Yeah, I mean, when you poured for yourself, you probably just pour. But you have buddies over, you're like, hey, this is for my barrel pick, and then you thief
That would
out
be
of the
cool.
bottle. Yeah, I
Just casually drop that line. This is for my barrel pick.
Yeah.
What do you
That's right.
what do you guys think is the ideal number of barrels to taste through?
Good question, Beka Sue.
Yeah,
We do 3 different barrels at 3 different proofs
3 different.
for the
barrels.
majority of people that come through.
Okay.
It's like Akeley or and Jim, or then if I taste however many you want to taste, it's up to you at that point. But
Right.
for the majority of people, it's 3 different barrels at 3 different proofs is what we do. So
Interesting.
what do you do?
It for us, I mean, it's really till we fucking find one you like.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Phil? Yeah.
You know, if I'm feeling like the vibe is off and we just haven't tasted one that they love yet, then I'm like, we're tasting more barrels. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
taste more barrels till I know that you guys seem like. I don't want you to just be like, well, I mean, like I guess we kind of like this one better. Like I don't want to hear, I guess. Like I
Right.
guess we like this one better. That doesn't sound like you fucking love it.
Right.
And like, how are you going to sell something you don't love? Like, I don't want to hear, I mean, I guess we start like this one. I mean, we're kind of like, it's probably the favorite. No, I want to hear like, this is our favorite. And like, I just dealt with this at a barrel pick that we just did. And it was, we had tasted through a few, and this is going to sound like we don't know what we're doing, and it's not intended to, but we were doing some with Old Jet, and I was going to go down and sample through all the barrels just so I knew which ones we were, like which ones I would want to maybe kind of steer them towards or maybe not towards. And I didn't. Royce was like, we're fine. And I was like, okay. Well, like of course, it was the very first one I drilled into. This barrel must have been like pretty dry when we had entered whiskey into it. It was at 124 proof, which is very high for us. And it was the very first one, and everyone just like, it just like lit them up like immediately. And I was like, I tasted it and I was like, shit. I like grabbed the proofer and I'm like 124. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like that would not be the first barrel I would taste. And we just did some like kind of random ones, and I don't like doing random ones. Like I like to and that's how it should be. Like your barrel coordinator should know which barrels you should be tasting.
You're walking them through a journey.
And I'm not blaming my husband, but he was like, it should be fine, like whichever ones. And I'm like, that's like usually not how I do that. And so for me, I was like, I will not ever do it like that ever again, where I'm just like grabbing some random ones. Like I'm trying to find you barrels that I know that you'll enjoy. And then I did go to some that I was like, these ones I know are pretty fantastic. And they absolutely loved them. And we'd already tasted through, I think, like 6 barrels at that point. And then we tasted, I think, 3 more. And they just, like, the last 2 were like, and it wasn't because they were drunk. These were actually really fantastic barrels. So, I mean, we'll just taste till we find something that is to your flavor profile, too. I mean,
do you do a specific age at all?
It depends on what they want.
Yeah.
You know,
as for me, as a retailer, I don't want to know the age. I don't know when. I don't want to know the proof. I don't want to know anything about it. I just want to taste it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
if it tastes the best, that's the one I want. So, and we're so unique. It's I get that 3 is probably a standard. 5 maybe 3 to 5 is probably the standard for most. We don't play by those rules typically. When we show up, because I know the people involved. It's typically I'm doing this with the distiller, and or somebody like Beka, barrel coordinator. They know the barrels. And we just start. Usually, they start leading us to their favorite barrels, and that's why we do such great barrel picks. It's not because Jim and I are geniuses, because we get access to the best barrels in the distillery, typically. And my all-time favorite, we went to Dance and Go. We did 24. That's the record. 24.
That's wild.
Well, I think that record's probably going to stand for a while. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't think most people could do that. And again, I just know Bronner one time coordinated there you go. That was picked on that one. And that's a great pick. Bronner did one time, and not a Bronner thing. Bronner's very professional on the barrel picks. He knows what he's doing. He's been picking barrels a long time, but he brought in a couple guys. They got freaking annihilated. One, they took us on a bus to a pizza place afterwards, and one guy just sat outside the pizza restaurant throwing up. I mean, that's just horrible.
That's kind of what I'm afraid of with my group coming down.
Oh yeah.
They need to know and this is not a joke.
I guess.
Knowing the inside track I have with that one, that could be 10, 15 barrels easy.
Demetrius typically does 18. That's a Demetrius.
That's what I knew was up there.
I just don't know how you.
Yeah.
Like no, I mean, like I guess you're gonna keep your ones that you're gonna write down what your favorite ones are.
Right,
but I mean,
right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Jesus.
And again, you're looking for the Tim's guys. Just from conversations I've had, they like to have fun. They're partying. This is a big party thing for them. This is not a party thing. A party as much as you want in St. Louis while you're there. I take the barrel pick part seriously and do the barrel pick, and
don't just be trashed at your barrel pick.
Yeah.
There's Becky, you're right. There's always one, and it's like, see, that's where I gravitate to, as being the one who's kind of leading the whole thing around. I always drift into that role. That's like, no, go have fun. I'm fine, because at least I know I can wake up in the morning without problems. I know I'm not losing control of myself.
And also, you need to maintain, because like whiskey's going to taste different the drunker you get.
Oh yeah.
And so
exactly.
like you need to maintain at least some sort of control over yourself, so that you like are actually tasting, and you're not just like, yeah, this is good fucking whiskey, when it's like a fucking swill. I mean, like,
right.
You need to like make sure that you're still picking good barrels. And so like that, like everything that people are tasting, I also make sure to take, like I'm taking a taste of as well. Like,
yeah,
because I'm going to, because I just need to know also, like if they don't pick those barrels and I thought they're good, then I'm going to add those to the single barrel list.
Yeah.
But like you need to kind of maintain a little bit. So I think, I mean, here's an important thing I think on a barrel pick is oyster crackers, pretzels.
Yeah.
Some sort of at least like little like snacky food that you can have. And
absorb some of the poison, as they say.
Yeah, not something that's going to screw up your palate, obviously. Like don't have like having chocolate or anything like that, I think is dumb. Like have something. I mean, we just have oyster crackers in the distillery
because they're neutral. Yeah,
they taste absolutely like shit, but they're gonna soak up some liquor, and that's good. That's a fantastic thing. So I think that you need to have some sort of small-ish snack that you can have there, like just a little, just one pack of oyster crackers.
Yeah,
costs all of like 23 cents a pack.
Totally.
Yeah. I live in a subdivision, and it's a typical standard subdivision, 1/4 acre lots. There's my neighbor has been on the riding lawnmower at least 4 hours. What in God's name is he doing? Well, I don't understand. Can't hear it,
so
I can hear it. And it's,
did he die?
He might. He's just going in a circle. He's slumped over, and it's just the radius of the lawnmower,
and just going in circles.
There might be an argument inside the house going on. He doesn't.
Maybe he just wanted to get out. He just wanted to get out.
Yeah, maybe his wife's being a real bitch.
Yeah,
and
it
he's
happens.
Just extra cutting the grass. We can't hear it on our end, Steve. So that's good.
Okay, fair enough.
Just so you know.
Okay.
But I mean, I think that also the barrel pick experience, the ultimate one, is going to be with a good barrel coordinator. There is nothing that makes it the fucking worst than when the person that's doing the barrel pick with you, for one, doesn't know anything.
Know your barrels.
Yeah, they know nothing. And that's why that last barrel pick that I had, it was not a nightmare. It was still a very good barrel pick, but I was feeling a little bit panicked because I was like, oh, Jesus, I need to make sure I get that. Like, they do not like high proof. And I was like,
oh, really?
Fuck. Yeah. And I'm like, we can proof these down. Yeah. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Hard to do at your place.
Yeah. And I like, usually we have stuff that's not, I mean, it's just.
You understand they're tasting something directly from a barrel, right?
That too. And so, but that's why the 124 was a little bit of a surprise to me, which I do not appreciate.
Yeah, I've never had a Neely at 124.
No.
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 103 to 112.
112. Yeah.
That's why that was a big surprise. That is my own fault. But your barrel coordinator should never be unprepared. That is the one time I was a little bit unprepared. They should always be prepared and know what they're talking about. And they also just need to be fun. My God, there's nothing worse than a boring fucking barrel coordinator.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you're going to have the corporate side, and you're going to have the marketing person, and they're really not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why find these small distilleries that are doing stuff, then that's where you're going to get those stories from.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we had Stephen Fonte that one time. That was fantastic. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
Also, your barrel coordinator, I think, also needs to speak to you about what it is that you want out of, or what you want to know. Like, they need to tell you, like, do you want to know the age? Do you want to know what type of, what mash bill this is? I think that your barrel coordinator needs to know what it is that you want and what you don't want. Yeah. And not just give you all the information all at once, because there's plenty of people. There's some people that want to know the age. They want to know the mash bill. There's some people that absolutely do not. Steve, you're one of those. You don't want to know that stuff.
Right.
We don't tell them until after they're done picking. We tell them what's up.
That's
good. It's great feedback for us. We love it just to hear some unsolicited, some opinions that are completely blind. And so it's a lot of fun for us, and we have a blast doing them. They're great.
It's
How many times out of 10 do you have the one person say, well, I just don't like rye, and they find out that the best one that they like has rye and mashed
so
that amazing. That statement, that's a show by itself. I don't like rye.
I fucking hate those people. I go on a whole fucking rant about the rye thing.
What are some of your favorites? Well, I like Old Granddad. I like Wild Turkey. These are all high rye fucking bourbons, you moron.
That Basil Hayden's real great.
Fucking okay. This is gonna be a little bit of a
one grain I hate is rye. I don't like rye. Nothing with rye in it.
When we fucking go through, God damn it. When we go through our fucking lineup at the distillery, so we are very transparent with like what you're tasting. And we have single barrels, and each single barrel that we have on the shelf is from a different fucking mash bill. That's how we do it. So that you can taste through the different mash bills. And we go, this is our wheat. It's going to be similar to some of these things. We have a 4 grain. It's not going to be really similar to anything. It's got oats in it. And there we go. And then we're going to have our high rye. And people go, and they make like a face. And I go, oh, so I go, rye is actually not a scary word.
Not a cuss word.
I go, because
I didn't say
of the
moist.
fact. Yeah. Like, I'm like, yeah. I didn't say moist.
Say ointment.
I didn't say anything weird. I said rye. I said a high rye bourbon.
Right.
I go, now you might think you don't like rye. I go, and you're probably thinking of this, and I'll pick up our rye whiskey. I go, you're probably thinking of a rye whiskey, which our rye whiskey is also very fucking different than the other ones on the market.
Because it's a Kentucky rye.
Exactly. And I go, but this high rye bourbon, and I always like, I don't know if it's good or bad that I do this, but I always make sure to tell people the things that they drink that are those things. I'm like, Bullet. That's like, I think it's like 27 or 28.
Yeah.
Jim Beam, Basil Hayden, Knob Creek, like those are all high rye.
Granddad are like 36% rye.
Yeah. I go, fucking Four Roses.
Right. Yeah. Four Roses. That's high rye. And I don't like rye. I like Four Roses. Oh, yeah.
And they tell me all the fucking time. They go, well, I don't like rye. And I go, you think that you don't like rye whiskey. So shut the fuck up and taste these things because you're literally doing a fucking tasting. So you should possibly taste some things that maybe you're not used to tasting because you've never fucking been here before.
Right.
So just fucking taste something that you've never
had. You had a 95.5 rye from MGP and you didn't like it.
I don't like rye. I've tasted a lot of it. Oh, you mean you've bought or you've tasted MGP from fucking 7 different quote unquote distilleries and it was the exact same fucking thing? Wow. Right. What a big surprise that you don't like the exact same thing.
I can name 7 I don't like. Well, yeah, they're all the same goddamn thing. It's all MGP. It's one distillery. Yeah.
And then they go, well, I thought I didn't like rye, but then I tasted one from like, let's say Heaven Hill or something like that. Or they go, or I tasted from Wild Turkey and I did like that. I go, oh, because you tasted it finally from a different distillery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perchance. Right. That's why you fucking like it. Because
we had a guy tell us literally he was allergic to rye. He could tell by his body reaction he's allergic. He's self-diagnosed, of course.
You're allergic.
Yeah. Okay. He's allergic. So then he names all his bourbons. It was like Buffalo Trace. It was all high rye bourbons. Everything he named was high rye bourbon. We're like, that's high rye. Every single one. He ended up walking out of our store with a bottle of our rye, rye whiskey, because he tasted it and he was like, "Holy shit, this is good!" And
how wild!
Yeah.
How fucking wild. These people are so...
Go figure.
Yeah.
Oh, it puts me in a backspin every single time.
We did the show. We did 2. This is a 2 for 1.
We're doing a few shows here tonight.
We're doing, that's 2 shows for 1 we just gave you guys. No extra
He's got to rewrite some content for the next couple recordings here. He's got to take some stuff off and find some new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Tim, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me finding new ways to trigger Beka Sue's inner fires on different types of topics on whiskey, and on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
All right, Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey, and our website's 10thwhiskey.com. That's WHISKEY.com.
Just in case you were wondering.
Thank God.
A little slow on the uptake here tonight. Long weekend, fellas. Long weekend.
All right, Miss Beka Sue, how about
you? You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram, or excuse me, you can find me on X and Instagram.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
At Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on X, Facebook, and Instagram. I can't say that. I'm
on X. You're on ecstasy, Steve?
Yeah, I'm on X. Yes. Look out, I'm on X.
He's on X videos, too.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
No, don't go there, folks.
Yeah, check us out, abvnetwork.com. That's where all of our content is. Come by and see us. Since if you're in St. Louis, ABV Barrel Shop, that is abvbarrelshop.com. You can sign up for our email and text distribution list there, which will keep you in the loop for sure. So check that out. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
See you, everyone.
Before we finish the show, let's talk about some of the great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro is owned and operated by Russell Creed, who makes stills for the hobby distiller. He offers a one-stop shop for everything the at-home distiller needs. Whether it's a small experimental stovetop still or something bigger you run outside, he has the still or parts you would have difficulty fabricating yourself if you were trying to build a DIY still project. Additionally, he has resources to assist in creating unique distilled spirits, including heirloom grains, barrels for aging, and recipes. Check out Russell's company online at moonshinestillpro.com. Finally, I have a question for you. Have you ever boxed a bear? Of course not. That'd be silly. Bears really don't follow the rules, so shots in the back of the head, punches to the nuts, and scrums after the bell would be the norm. A better idea would be to enjoy Boxing Bear Whiskey, a brand crafted by Nobleton's Distilling House in Union, Missouri, and sold exclusively at the ABV Barrel Shop in suburban St. Louis. This is a popular offering that sells out quickly, but when you're in town, stop by the ABV Barrel Shop and see if they have it in stock. Better yet, sign up for their email and text distribution over at abvbarrelshop.com and you'll know exactly when it is in stock. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.